Welcome to another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I am so excited to have on a 30-year-old from Bath, England. His hockey journey seems like it's just starting. The research team only found this season, but he is a physiotherapist, a teacher, and a Cardiff Canuck, the team that is taking Wales by storm and selling out the barn and has the best looking jerseys in all of hockey this season. And I believe you may have just been injured and you're going to have to fix yourself. I don't have much to go off on this intro. Welcome on, Brad Craiper.
Amazing. Thank you so much. What an intro.
Well, I just had to wing it there because there's not much on you, man. This is your first season on Elite Prospects.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd only played one season of beer league before that.
Actually,
Yeah. Started playing hockey 2 years ago. I could skate, but I couldn't stop.
and you're playing for the
Yeah,
Cardiff Canucks already.
yeah, it's been a hell of a journey. It's been yeah, pretty crazy 2 years to be fair. I graduated university this year. So whilst trying to juggle working, studying full time and playing as much hockey as possible, it's been a pretty wild journey, but starting with the Canucks in September has been phenomenal because it like finished uni, like everything's kind of fallen into place right
That's
at the right time. So
yeah, no kidding. Timing is everything, and that's really interesting. How did you decide to start playing hockey at that age?
I know, right?
Whoa, did you freeze on me?
So
There you
my
are.
dad used to.
Keep going.
I'm back. Yeah, never got the opportunity to play as a kid, but dad played pro hockey and so always wanted to play. And then I got to 28. There was a new rink that was built in Bristol. Went to watch the Bristol Pitbulls play a game, and I was like, I so badly want to play. Went up to the bar for a beer and chatting to the guy. He's like, have you been before? I was like, no, I haven't been here. First time. My dad used to play. Tell him my dad's name, and he's like, your dad's Jamie Craiper? I was like, yeah. He goes, my dad used to play with your dad. I was like, no way. And he goes, do you play? I was like, no, I never, never was able to. And he goes, you're an adult now. You can make your own decisions. I'm like, that's a really good point.
So
So,
why didn't you get to play if your old man played hockey? He wouldn't have put you into hockey?
well, he retired a year before I was born. And
Uh,
I've got a brother who's 3.5 years older than me. So he played when he was a kid. And it's my skates are hurting. I'm sweaty. Like all of the complaints. And my parents were like, we don't have it in us to push him through it if he doesn't want to do it. So
right.
kind of missed the opportunity because
That's interesting if you're already
didn't
good
work out
enough
for
to make
him.
the Canucks after 2 years, because they say genes are a thing, and if your old man could play, then you probably could have been able to play pretty good too.
So one of the most traumatic experiences of hockey so far is going to watch GB play against Poland last year, and there's a guy called Ben O'Connor playing for them, and
I know him.
his
He
dad
he's
and
been
my
on.
dad were line mates.
Really? What a small world, eh? And when you went to watch
Yeah.
the Bristol Pitbulls, I bet you Jemay was the coach, which was my coach in Cardiff. Um, I am
Oh
pretty
wow.
sure he would have been coaching. And then I've had Ben O'Connor on, and yeah, it's a very small world, eh? And it's weird how
Oh
many
wow.
dad's sons play the game.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, dad played with Mike O'Connor. I think they might have even shared a room together at one point. So yeah, pretty wild, pretty much the same age. And I'm like, he's playing for GB, and I'm starting my hockey journey at the same time.
Well, it's neat that you've got it started, and it's neat that the Cardiff Canucks exist so you can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a special setup. I have to pinch myself every time I get to the arena. It just feels like such a different world, like professional setup. The room we've got, the team we've got, kind of the whole setup is just doesn't feel real yet. So
I've seen it.
very
I've seen the
special.
locker room. I've seen the jerseys, and man, you guys have a sweet logo on your shoulder, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, feeling super lucky, very grateful for the opportunity that Hendo's given me. And yeah, just trying to make the best of it. Unfortunately, as you mentioned, my shoulder's a bit of a hurdle in the track, but gotta work on that, be
So
patient,
did
and I'll
that
get
just
back to it.
happen?
Yeah, last Friday I was in a practice session, big hit from one of the young guys. Got hit from the side when I wasn't expecting it. Sorry, the cat's going across.
That's a big tail.
Yeah, it's a Maine Coon. She's a big cat. Yeah, got a big hit that I wasn't expecting from the side, and shoulder just went crunch. So my collarbone's floating at the moment.
So that
Uh,
sucks.
yeah,
Because that
so
the part that sucks about that too is I'm guessing how much better you're getting each ice time in game because
mm,
you're still new to the game, so you're going to be improving
yeah.
rapidly.
Yeah, well, Hendo had not guaranteed me to get any game time this season. He said, "I'm taking you on for your potential, and I love your work ethic and your attitude." So, he goes, "At some point, I'm sure you'll play games, but I'm not going to promise when." And then we started training in September, and he pulled me aside for a chat, and it felt like you played the NHL games on the PlayStation. It feels like when you get to have a chat with the coach, and we're sat up in the stand overlooking the arena. He's like, "You're a lot better than you were at the trial." Really impressed, and I want to get you some game time. And so I've been very fortunate to be able to play every game so far up until I got injured,
That's
and
really
it's
cool. I saw you got a
been
couple
a wild
apples.
ride. Yeah, yeah, it's playing with good guys, they make it easier to get the points on the board.
Are you playing forward or D?
Yeah, forward. I was playing
Forward.
center.
Are you? Jeepers.
Yeah.
Wow, you must have come a long way in a short time. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I love the challenge. Every time I've played wing, I'm like, I feel like I'm not involved enough. Like I feel a bit wasted there, like,
You want
up
to
and
get
down the
around the
ice.
ice. See, for me, I didn't really
Yeah.
want to waste my energy in the D zone. I wanted to be a winger.
Yeah, well, so I played wing, and I kind of find that the role feels a bit too easy. I like the challenge of center, and I love face-offs and getting in the mix and
Yeah, there's
being
way
a
more
third
to playing
defender.
center than playing wing. With you got the face-offs and how
Yeah,
important they can be, and then also the D zone. Yeah, it is
yeah,
a lot bigger deal than
mm,
playing wing in your own end at
yeah,
least, and the
absolutely.
face-offs.
Yeah, Hendo said to me the other week, he was like, "I think you'd make a really good winger," and I'm like, "I could do wing. Like if that's what the team needs, I will." I was like, "But I really don't like it in comparison to center. Like I'd rather play D than wing, I think." But yeah, I said I'm willing to give it a try if that's what the team needs. Don't go across the
Well,
net.
that's pretty much all you can do on a hockey team, right? Is whatever the coach says he thinks
Yeah,
you should do it.
yeah, I said I'm here for the team. Whatever you need me to do, I'm willing to give it a try. And then the next game I can't play because I'm injured.
Right.
So
I have seen a lot of pictures of your team's outfit this year, though, or your kit, as
yeah.
you guys had called over there. Like
Hmm.
Hendo's come up with a sweet looking logo, even though it's of him, but it is a cool logo, and the colors are cool. I really like the green pants.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Like the way the colors work together. I mean, there's a few jokes out there about, it's quite Christmassy. We're like we don't need a special jersey for Christmas. But no, we all love the kit. It's yeah, I think the design's amazing, the logo's amazing. I love how it all goes together. It feels very professional. It feels beyond kind
And
of the
do you know
national
what I
TV.
love so much about it is that my logo is on all of your shoulders. And
Yeah,
Hendo did that just because we're brothers and played together
amazing.
our rookie years and then at the end of my career. And he is like my brother. And when we were on the same team, we
That's
did
so
everything
cool.
together. And I would have to protect him because I was the tough guy. And I know it meant a lot to him every time I beat people up for him, right?
Someone's got to do it, right?
Well, it may as well be the muffin bits. There's a guy over there that actually has a tattoo of me, topless,
No
spray
way.
painted in the crowd with muffins as hands, and it says "Muffin Mitts running amok." And for the small hockey world, is it was Hendo's son that inspired that tattoo on the podcast when he told me I throw
Wow.
muffins.
That's amazing. Oh,
It's
I love
amazingly
it.
weird.
Someone's got a tattoo of you. That's a great claim to fame, right?
It's just so bizarre. Really, I have a hard time wrapping my head around it.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
but I heard Joey Martin's having a testimonial in June, and if that was the case, and maybe I was going to talk to him on Friday about it, then maybe I'd be coming, and then maybe I could get a picture with the tattoo of me.
Oh, sweet. We can check the resemblance.
I'm pretty sure my body's way better than that tattoo. You should see the muffin top on it. It's got right over the pants.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's tough
You also
luck.
have to check out your muffin punches too.
They're knockout artists, man. Uh, so a couple guys I've had on from your team is your captain, Joe Morris. He seems like the
Amazing.
type of captain you want, eh?
Yeah, no doubt. He's the perfect guy for the job. He's, sets an amazing example. He's got all of the skills and experience to lead the team and, helps get the guys disciplined. He scares them into shape. And, he practices what he preaches when he's on the ice. He gives it everything every time he's on there and shows what the team should be about. And, yeah, brings a load of knowledge and experience to the team and really helps bring up the younger guys.
And then the other guy was Victor Carlaker Langseth. He's a
Unreal
beauty
guy.
too, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got
Got the
some good
pleasure.
dudes on your team.
Yeah, no doubt. Got the pleasure of having him next to me on the stall in the room, and yeah, he's a great guy. We got good friendship, and I say he's a bit like the Rasmus Dahlin of the team. He's like he doesn't look like he moves fast, but like it's that smooth is fast kind of
Hmm.
style. It just makes everything look really effortless and makes good plays, and yeah, great guy.
Yeah, and it was cool when like he came on and then he took a photo of like pointing at my logo on his jersey and posted it. And
Amazing.
it's just so cool. It warms my heart every time I see that Hendo did that for me. Go Canucks.
That's so
Go
special.
Canucks. And it's
That's
weird
really
because I'm
cool.
coaching the Canucks here in Kincardine and he's coaching the Canucks, a team he's made up on his own.
Ah. So that's where the two names come from when you do your posts?
Yeah, Canucks and Canucks. I'm coaching the Kincardine
Nice.
Canucks, under 13 boys.
Oh, amazing.
Oh yeah,
Very cool.
we got a squad. We got some great players and a great team and a great goalie. And we've won two of our three tournaments. And boys seem
Oh,
to be getting
awesome.
better every week, and they're loving it. And like they're a team, and it's just so fun to be a part of that. You know?
Yeah, that's really special. Really special. I mean, I know from teaching, and I'm a ski and snowboard instructor as well. So, teaching the younger generation is really special, and especially the way they progress is just wild. You
Oh,
can
it's
really see
so
what you
fun.
do makes a huge difference.
There, I had a cool one last week. Because I have a player that is awesome at pulling everybody towards him, protecting the puck, brings everybody to him, and then will hit a guy backdoor. And his line mate kept standing too far away from the net as a lefty playing left wing, and he would
Right.
get the puck and have to shoot it. He'd have to stop it and shoot it, give the goalie time to get over. And I'm like,
Right.
hey, so when Brady starts skating around in the corners and making everybody look at him, I'm like, don't be 5 feet away from the net. Be like right on the back door. And then he's gonna pass it right on your tape, and then you just have to tap it in. And
Yeah.
then he went out and did it, and he got closer to the net. And then the kid made such a sweet pass, and the kid tapped it in. And then he came to the bench. He's like, "Coach, just got to tap it in."
That's epic.
Yeah, it's so fun. Oh man, when you see
That's
them
really
do
cool.
something that is in your brain and that it actually works.
Yeah, visualizing it's a huge part of it, right? Being able to see the plays.
And
It's like
explaining it to them of why it would work. It's fun.
yeah, no
So
doubt. I coach a beer league team in Bristol, and I love that stuff. Took a bunch of like brand new players. Well, I was a brand new player like
I
3 months
was
before the
gonna say,
team
you just
started.
started. How are you coaching?
Yeah, so I started in the October, and then the team started in like January time, and then I was asked to go on and help them out, and ended up becoming their head coach. So I started like a few months before the team did, and they're all brand new, learn to play guys. It's a mixed team, guys and girls, and they joined a league in the first season, and they started winning games and doing really well. And I was just like, "There's no other teams in this lowest level beer league you know that actually have any structure. So if you guys know where to stand, and you're going to be better off than everybody else."
I
So
can't
they
imagine what
lost.
the lowest league of beer league is like in the UK.
It's very interesting. Sometimes you get ex league guys going in there and just tearing it up, and then you got people that learned how to skate last week. So it's huge variant. So um, but I love it. It's great fun. They lost 17-1 to a team called the Cardiff Dragons, and then 2 months later put the same like guys out with a better understanding of what to do, and they won 6-3. I was like, this is sick.
It's fun when you see progress and they're
Yeah,
picking up what you're putting down for sure.
yeah. So I think
I'm
that's
not.
been a
I'm
big
trying
part
to
of my
remember
progress.
what Cardiff team it is. but it's a beer league team, and I don't want to be wrong, so I'm not going to say, but a fella has been nice enough as well to make me his sponsor of his,
Oh, wow.
and he's putting my logo on his jersey too. And he said he's getting one made with Walton 18 on the back and sending it to me.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I said, I don't know why you're doing this for me, and but thank you, I appreciate it. And he said, you were part of the team that won the first trophy in the decade in Cardiff, and I appreciate that forever. And it was my first trophy as
Wow.
a fan, and so he's doing all this just for that, and it's like, wow, that
Oh
is
man, that's so
hockey.
special.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's hockey. That's so special.
it
Amazing.
really is. Anywho, do you know what Chippy Lane is?
Chippy Lane, no.
Oh my God, what is going on with the Canucks? But we need to talk about this. You're playing for Hendo and you don't know what Chippy Lane is?
Can't say I do.
I don't even know if I'm still a fan.
I mean,
Breaking
I
my
might
heart
just be
here.
stupid. I don't know if it's a Canucks thing.
Well, it's a Cardiff thing. Um,
Well, I've literally spent next to no time in Cardiff.
so
So
you're a transient. You just drive in, practice, and head out.
I live in Bath. So
Mm,
yeah, I'm an
that's the
hour and a
place
half
with like
away.
the spa or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a springs. I wouldn't call it a hot
Springs.
springs because it's not hot.
It's just a spring.
It's just a spring.
I know that was a destination for a lot of people that came to visit in Cardiff. They'd go to Bath for the day. I don't think I ever made
Yeah,
it there.
the Roman Baths is yeah, it's a very beautiful city. Nice
That
place to live. It's
that's where you're
expensive though.
born and raised.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I actually was working in the hospital that I was born in whilst I was studying, which was pretty cool.
Jeepers, you got a lot going on, eh? What all did you do during
Yeah.
the day? Hendo told me you're an interesting human because of all the things you can do.
Well, so I teach at a high school. When I haven't been at university, I've been teaching at a high school. They said as a ski and snowboard instructor and a personal trainer, I'm allowed to teach PE. So I was like, cool, I can teach PE. Like, that's
Right.
great. So I turned up to a high school and they were like, we don't actually need you for PE today. We need you to teach GCSE English. And I was like, I'm not an English teacher, right? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. There'll be cover work on the laptop here. Here's your room. Take me to the classroom. There's 32 15-year-olds sat in front of me, and they're all looking at me like I'm supposed to know what to do. And I go on the laptop and go onto the cover work, and there's no work for today. So I'm like, what do I do here? So I go on the next day thinking maybe it'll give us an idea, and it says continue on from yesterday. And I'm like, damn. So these 32 teenagers are looking at me I'm gonna teach. I'm like, right, kids, we're gonna do some creative writing.
So you just made it up.
Uh, yeah, you're gonna write a story, introduce the characters, set the scene, main body, and then either cliffhanger and set yourself up for part two, or end it on something interesting. And then this scary-looking woman in a full suit walks in, and she's like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "Brad." She goes, "What are the kids call you?" I'm like, "Mr. Brad." So 4 years I've been a teacher who's not a teacher. I teach all the subjects.
Do you
Um,
teach all everything now?
I teach all the subjects. Today I taught maths, PSHE, which is like life skills. I did history. I did science. I was teaching about
How do you know
teaching about the
everything?
immune system today.
How do you know everything?
Just figure it out as it go along. I taught chemistry to year 10s. They're 14, 15 years old. And I had no idea. We're talking about like enzymes and stuff, but it's all on a PowerPoint presentation. I'm just like, I'm reading it and then saying it like I know what I'm doing. I said to one of the kids after, I was like, it just seemed like I knew what I was doing. He was like, what, you didn't know what you were doing?
It sounds like you'd be a fun teacher to have.
You've got to be their friend. It's so important. I'm
Uh,
like, I don't want to tell you off. I say you get 10 minutes of free time at the end of the lesson if you do your work. Finish
uh,
your work.
it's
And if anybody,
same with coaching kids, right? It's like I want you
yeah,
guys to be my friends. Like I'm not just your
that's
coach,
it.
I'm your buddy.
I'm here
We're
to
on the
have
same
fun. I'm
team.
not here to take this seriously.
Everything in life is better when you have fun,
Exactly. So it doesn't feel like work if you're enjoying it.
right?
So,
You can do anything
you know,
if you joke around and laugh. You could dig holes and
yeah,
it can be fun.
yeah, no doubt. My mum used to absolutely hate the work she was doing, but loved the people. She stayed there for 16 years. So,
So
you know,
hold on. You're a teacher by day, but then I thought you were a physiotherapist.
Yeah, so when I've been studying for the last 4 years, so I had to do a year's access course. I had to t teach myself biology, psychology, and sociology to get into university. And I had my physio degree for 3 years. And when I've not been studying, I've been teaching, just like on the if I got a day off or whatever. And so now I've graduated this summer, and I've got a job at a private hospital near Cardiff, in Newport, if you know the area.
I do.
And it's a private surgical hospital, so I'm there whenever they need me, and then I teach whenever they don't. So I like on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we got practice in the morning. We practice until like 10, and then I go and either teach or work at the hospital for the rest of the day.
Sounds like you're like pigs. Luke Piggott, Dr. Luke Piggott, when we were in Cardiff, he would come to our practices and then cure cancer by night. And then I
I can't
remember
say I
like
got the cure for cancer, but I'm
well,
doing my best.
well, old Piglet then like he had such a passion for hockey. Well, and he's the smartest dude I know.
Oh,
And
amazing.
like his boss would be like, "Do you realize like what you could accomplish if you didn't waste half your day doing hockey?" And now he finally hung him up, and now he lives on the mountains in Switzerland curing cancer.
Oh, I want to live in the mountains in Switzerland. That's
Right?
my that's my long-term plan.
We're
That's
almost
why I
there.
did physio.
We're
I want to
almost
live in a
there.
ski resort and get paid for doing something fun. So I'm a ski and snowboard instructor, an ice hockey player, and a physio.
So you actually have it all figured out.
Mm, I got a plan. I got a goal.
Right. You need to have a goal in life, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And do you know Josh Britton?
I know the name.
Played for the Devils.
I know the name,
So
yeah.
he played for the Devils. I think he was there 2 seasons ago, and he was training with us at the start of the season. And he's just got a contract over in the top French league, playing for Amiens. And he's playing pro hockey in France and gets to travel around doing it. And I'm like, I want to do that. I love France. My mom lives in France, and they've got ice hockey teams and ski resorts. They got one in Chamonix. They got one in Morzine. I'm like, if
Yeah.
I can live in a ski resort and play for their pro ice hockey team
Are you gonna
and
get
have
that
my own
good that you're
physio
playing
clinic,
pro?
why not?
Why not, right?
Why not? Why
And
not?
small world is that, well, Hendo and I, when my career ended, because of my knee, my retirement gift was to go with the boys on a bachelor party to Morzine, and there was
Oh,
11.
no way.
There was 11 of us that went from the Devils, and
Unreal.
it was a weekend you'd never forget. I read a red saucer all the way down the mountain because I couldn't ski, to get to get to the chalet where they were eating dinner the one night, and I couldn't ski, so I'd been waiting around all day for them, and they're like, "Well, you have to meet us for dinner," and all there
Oh,
was a red
dude.
saucer at the chalet, so I took the gondola up with the other guys that came back for a rest, and then they skied down, and then I rode the red saucer to the chalet halfway down, and then we stayed
No
there till like 2 or 3
way.
in the morning, and then I had to ride it the rest of the way down in the dark.
Bro, drunk skiing is fun. Riding the red saucer.
I had so
That's another
one
level.
of the guys from their team, because Carl Hudson had played for Morzine, he skied beside me on my red saucer, and I held onto his pole so I wouldn't fall
Oh,
off the
that's
mountain.
so dope. Wow. Yeah, you
It
ain't
was
got no
something.
brakes on that thing, right?
There were no breaks. There was a time where I was trying to stop, digging my heels in, and the snow was just flying like
Oh
20 feet
man.
in the air, and I couldn't stop. And I'm like, what if I'm going the wrong way?
And then you can't see either.
You can't really
And there's a
turn
lot
those
of trees
things.
in Morzine. I lived in Morzine in 2014. I was running the bar of a luxury hotel on the side of the ski slope when I got to ski and snowboard during the day and then run the bar during the night.
What a
And
place it is, eh?
unreal, absolutely unreal. They were like
When you get up to the
400
top and
kilometers
all they
apiece.
have is horses to get around because cars can't get up there, right?
That's so cool.
It's,
Yeah,
yeah. It's weird the
special
places
place.
hockey can take you, but we went, that would have been 2016 we would have gone.
Mm.
That was right before I flew home forever.
Oh wow,
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah.
Do you miss the UK?
Well, I miss seeing my friends. That's how I came up with doing this,
I
is
bet.
now I can
Oh
see
sweet.
people still, right?
Yeah,
But yeah, Cardiff was an awesome spot. I loved it there, man. And I
yeah,
loved the hockey culture in the UK, that it was more like a family vibe. Then there's some fans in Germany that are great when you're winning, but really not great when you're losing. And man,
Right.
I just saw something really bothered me was Jerry Coon, who's an absolute beauty that's came on. And there's a team that he was on a 2-year contract. They decide not to bring him back for the second year. He wanted to be there. His kids had been growing up there, and then they don't want him back. Well, now he's switched teams and he goes back there to play them. And the fans put up a sign that said, "Jerry, you son of a bitch." And it's like,
Oh,
why would you do that to a person, to a professional hockey
oh
player that
my.
is just following the trail that's put out in front of him?
Yeah,
Your
right.
team didn't want him back, and he's one of the best goalies in the league, and you guys screwed him. And now you're going to put up a sign like that because he
Wow.
plays for a different team? It's embarrassing.
Oh, oh. Yeah, that's not the hockey community that I've grown to know in the last
It,
2 years.
I agree.
It's
And
sad.
I dislike it. But when
Mm,
then you go to the UK, and I remember playing in the big blue tent, and the game would end, and before the other team's bus would leave, like both teams would kind of be mingling in the bar area and like have a pint,
yeah,
and the guys from the other team you would chit chat with for a couple minutes, and I
yeah,
was like, wow, this is hockey. We go out there, muck it up, and then we can all give each other a handshake after.
sure. That's it. That's it. You leave it on the ice, right?
Yeah,
It's like rugby is a hooligan sport played by gentlemen, and I think
that's what I
hockey's the
think of
same,
hockey
right?
too. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, right. We both spend the entire game trying to persuade the ref that we're not injured, and then you get football or soccer where they're spending the entire game trying to persuade them that they are.
Yeah, I agree.
And the fans in football are crazy, and the fans in rugby and ice hockey are generally, beauties.
Yeah, I remember when
So,
the Rugby World Cup was in Cardiff, man, and you got all the fans from all the different countries, and I tell you, everybody was there to have fun.
mm,
Mm,
yeah,
good
yeah,
cultures. So
yeah.
anyways, moving on. The Cardiff Canucks have a Player of the Game award, which I've seen is a cowboy hat, right?
That's sweet. It's real sweet.
I just made mine for my Kincardine Canucks, and I wasn't really
Oh yeah.
sure what to do, and I was waiting for inspiration because, I don't even know what an actual Canuck is. I know what a Canuck is, but anywho, um, myself and the kids years ago found the biggest bone I've ever seen in my life, and I have no idea what animal it's from. I think it might be a bull, but we've just had this bone for a while. So then I spray painted it orange, put our logos on it, and then I put earned it and got it done. And then I put a chain around the big bone, and then it'll be a necklace to walk out with, right?
Oh, dude, that's
Yeah.
amazing until you get that one vegan kid.
Well, this was just found in a forest. I don't think anybody ate this animal.
Oh, that sounds sweet. I think it's such a great thing in hockey, having the Players Award.
So
I,
what
I
I
think it's really
did with my
special.
team, because I thought we were still pretty fresh in the season, I didn't want to do it yet. I wanted to wait until they were a team and didn't care about who got goals and assists. And now I
Mm,
think we're at that point where they're all cheering for each other. And
yeah,
that's not, I'm going to bring it in now. And I think they're ready for
yeah.
it.
Nice. No, that's really cool. Yeah. Get the guys wanting the team to win. It's like the name on the front of the jersey is more important than the name on the back, right?
Well, and you got to actually get them to actually behave and play that
Yeah,
way and treat each other that way. And like, I love it when you see people celebrate their teammates' goals as much as their own.
for sure. Yeah, for sure. I think that's what the hockey team's all about, right? It's just, you're there with
Mhm.
the guys, you're all in it together, you're at war together.
Yeah.
And that's the most special part is your wins are together and your losses are together.
So with your squad this year, Max Beerbrier, one of the most listened to episodes ever of my podcast over.
I know
He's in
what.
the top 10 of over what 420 something of these I've done now. He's in the top 10 ever. And his story is legendary, but he's still doing her at his ripe old age. He's got 11 points in seven
On my
games.
screen. Sorry.
That's okay. Are you frozen? You're back. There you are. Could you hear me?
Sorry, it says the internet connection's gone unstable.
Game back on. I told you that Max Beerbrier is still playing good, even though he's really old now.
Guy is amazing. He is an incredible addition to the team. I think he really brings a lot that the team needs, that old school mentality
And he's
is
a
no
big
shit.
body that can do everything.
Yeah. Yeah, he's skilled, he's strong, he makes smart plays. He's a good example in the room for the guys when they're, like we got a lot of young guys on the team. Like the discipline and having, that right mentality is huge. And he's the type of guy when what he says goes. And, if he gives advice, people listen.
Mhm.
So, big voice in the room and definitely sets a good example on the ice.
Some other guy's name is Samuel Davies, and he's got 11 points in 8 games, eh? So they must be playing together and playing well.
Yeah, Sam's hands are ridiculous. Like I didn't even know it was possible for hands to move that fast. Like he's got the silkiest mitts, and the guy can just skate around anyone. He said the other game he was like, I just feel like I've got so much time on the ice. And I'm like, that's you. Like that's not them. No one
That's
else
because
is
you're
playing
moving
like that.
fast to the right
Yeah.
spots.
Guy's just getting it right. He plays with so much confidence. He's got the skill for it, and he's got the right mentality. Um, yeah,
Sounds like a
am-
player. And
amazing
then
player.
another guy I've had on from the Canucks before he was a Canuck is Harry Thomas, your goalie, and he's got a
Oh yeah,
925 save percentage, eh? So he's kicking them
yeah,
out.
yeah. Harry's reflexes are ridiculous. Like, I was getting so upset with him when we first started training in September. I was like, every single time I shoot, there's a space and you close it off by the time the puck gets there. And so I was like, your glove's too good. I can't go for your glove. So I was like, I'm gonna shoot blocker next time. So I went blocker and he saved it. And then
Y-
I, I got in his
So
head.
just food for thought. I know you're new to this game, but
Mhm.
maybe don't tell the goalie where you're going to shoot before.
Well, no, this is the trick because I got in his head and I told him where I was going to shoot, and then I scored the next five on him, and he was getting really upset.
Okay, as long as you were trying to trick him, because if you were telling him the
Oh no,
truth,
that was entirely on purpose.
okay.
I had to win somehow. I can't beat him on skill alone, so I had to get in his head right.
So how are the Canucks doing? I saw you won like your first game ever, and it was an electric
Mhm.
finish.
Yeah,
How are you guys doing?
I think the team's playing really well in training. I think training is phenomenal, getting better every single session. Like we have these sessions where we're like, that's it. The team's now working. This is
Hmm.
great. And then get into games and it's like the chemistry is maybe not on, the energy is not right. Like guys' heads will go down quite quickly. And it's hard to bring them back into it. I think
Mm.
the maybe playing in front of big crowds is playing quite a big role in it. Like, yeah, I think last week when we played against the Mustangs, and everyone was saying they're the roughest team in the league. Like these guys are out to hurt you, and so everyone had in their head like, I don't want to get hurt.
Oh, so
Day
then they're
before,
playing like they were hearing footsteps.
but
Can't
day
play like that.
before, I get hit, my shoulder's torn four ligaments, and everyone's like, this is real. Go into the game, everyone's,
Timid, timid.
not committing to 50-50 challenges,
Ah,
not
can't win like
committing
that.
to their hits. And you can like it's obviously so much easier to see as I'm sat in the stands injured, but like you see guys going in there reaching out really far with their sticks, trying to just use the toe to get there so they're not putting their body in the way. And
Instead of
I think
committing to it.
when the guys are playing with confidence and they're playing with chemistry and the right energy, like no one in the league will beat us.
Mhm.
And you see snippets of it in every game. Like the start of the game, we lost 8-1 on Sunday. First 25 minutes, guys were the better team by far. They scored from breakaways. That's it. They weren't good
Mm,
plays. We were in
big
their end, playing with
breakdowns.
confidence. And then as soon as those goals happen, heads go down, energy goes down, people aren't holding on to the puck, they're getting rid of it. And it's tough to see because it's a mental game, right?
Oh,
They've
there's
got
so
the
much
physical
mental
skills,
game to it.
they've
Yeah.
got the talent, they've got the fitness. It's just got to get
Well,
that dialed in.
yeah, the brain's a big thing, and yeah, not giving up and not getting sad and body language.
Mhm.
Once you start being sad or mad, it's hard to turn your game around.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
for
But you
sure.
guys are
So,
playing with some young kids, because one of my questions is, I've seen in some of the videos, because you guys got a great social media game over there with the Canucks,
mhm,
but there's fights in that league, and you're playing in a league where some guys are wearing visors and some guys are wearing cages. So are there kids with
mhm.
cages fighting guys with visors?
No, the only person that's dropped the mitt so far is Jack Whiting, and he's done so twice. The rest of them have all just been kind of like pushing and shoving. A
Okay,
few of their guys have grabbed our guys' cages and like trying to throw them around. Pulling jerseys over people's heads and like pushing them around and stuff. Like that, they're trying to push around the young guys, and I think having the older senior guys with some experience, to be able to back them up is really important, so they know they
for
can't get
sure.
pushed around and that we won't stand for it. I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Um, because
It
there
is
are
a
a lot of
wide age
experienced
range,
older
eh?
guys. Yeah, yeah, and you really notice the difference. A Tuesday evening session, you got all the senior guys there. The vibe in the room is so different. Like feels much more mature. Wednesday morning, none of the senior guys are in there, and you just got, everyone's talking about like TikTok and all these new slang words you don't understand anymore.
I
I'm
totally
like, this
know.
is so different.
It's like now when most of my friends are under the age of 13 around town, you learn some new lingo.
Yeah.
I think being really good at something, you could call something Sigma, and style is now called
Yeah.
sty.
Yeah. Yeah, the hockey lingo is really, really developed as well. So,
Yeah, apparently a tape job is a TJ now. Anywho,
got to keep up, right? Well, the thing is, I'm so new to this that like I don't even know the old phrases to compare. Like that, that's all I
you're
know.
fresh in this sport, eh? That's pretty cool though. Be cool to see what you can do with it. But so then I'm guessing for your poster picks, they had sweet jerseys and kit is the Mutts. That must be your first ever beer league team.
Yeah. They're the
The
guys that gave me the opportunity.
the
So
Mutts. Good
forever
name.
grateful. They will always be family. I turned up on a Monday evening with my dad's kit from the 90s, and he'd showed me how to put it on that day in the garden. I'd never put a hockey kit on before. I didn't even know what kit there was. So
Had you skated
I'd skate like the Christmas public skate things, you know how to
in the
turn
blue
left, but you
skates, like
can't turn right yet.
holding on to a penguin?
Like I thought I was a good skater because I could go fast and I could turn left well, but you get onto the ice and you got to turn right as well.
I thought some of the
So
public skating in Wales or even in the UK when you're on road trips, watching people public skate over there, it was really entertaining.
yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, like there'd be kids that couldn't stop and they try and get going fast, like you're saying, and they would just crash into the boards.
Yeah, people rely on the board so much or each other, and then they both go down. It's great.
Oh man, and then those blue skates are just fantastic.
Yeah. I actually had to wear a pair Saturday. I couldn't get into the
Stop it.
room. I was
Stop it.
taking my girlfriend and her two kids to go skating at the Winter Wonderland, that little
Yeah.
outdoor thing, little trail, and the room was locked and I was there early, so I was like, I'm gonna have to use some rentals. They were like the outside edge on one was sharp, the inside edge on the same skate was blunt.
So I had an interesting one was we had a practice for our team and it was a fun one. It was an optional one. I forget why. It was in the morning or something. And I had coached the senior team the night before and left my equipment there and didn't realize it. And then I get to the rink and it's go time and I have no equipment and I'm the head coach. And so my
Oh,
trainer, other coaches, staff guy, gives me his gear to wear. And he had the biggest skates I've ever put on, and they were
oh no
terrible.
way.
But then he also had a huge helmet and gloves, and he shot left, and I shoot right, and I had to go out and run. I had to go
Wow.
out and run the practice like that, and it was something
No
else.
way. How did
Oh,
that go?
actually, it was Halloween. That's what it was. It was a Halloween skate, so not it was optional, and I had to go out as a lefty with the biggest wheels you've ever seen, and they were terrible skates. And then it was like a week later, he's looking at his skates, and he's like, "Whoa, there's like 5 rivets out of here." I'm like,
Wow.
"Yeah, I could tell trying to skate on them."
That would be
Oh,
a really good test, actually. We played a game this summer, when I was just playing in beer league, and it was this brand new team called the Cardiff Centaurs, and they decided they wanted to play against the top rec team in a commutable distance,
I think
and
that's the team putting my logo on.
the Centaurs, the brand new guys, they didn't even have jerseys yet when we
Yeah,
played against them. I was playing for the Bristol Pirates, who
that's
have
that. Pretty
won.
sure that's the team that my guys are
Right,
putting my logo on. Like that's funny.
it's like half horse, half man. So we
Half
played
horse,
against them
half
in their
man, eh?
first ever game. They didn't have jerseys yet. They had bint stickers on the back of their jerseys to say who they were. And I was like, we should play with the wrong side stick. This would make it way more fun. No one was on it. And I was like, come on. We won like 17 something.
Uh, yeah, you could do that, but it's almost showing the other team up when you're like, you guys are this bad. We're gonna play the other way.
I mean, some of these guys used to play league, like, and they're playing against people that have just learned how to hockey stop. It was going to be a shit show either way.
Oh man, it must be some interesting games over there. Um,
Yeah,
okay. Other poster picks is after a Canucks game, you got your whole crew there with you. That isn't it fun when your friends and family come to watch you play hockey?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So special to be able to share it with them, and I think it's pretty cool for them being able to, see how the hockey world can work, having never been experienced in it. Hockey's not normal in the UK. Like
Right.
my dad played pro before I was born. I didn't even know there was a team in Bristol. You know? Let alone that I could play for one. So yeah, really special to have them there. They're the loudest in the crowd. They bought all the merchandise, and yeah, it's just really special to have them come along.
It's really special that Hendo started this team, and then people are buying the merchandise, and then his brand's getting out there, and then you see how many fans are showing up, and you're like, "Attaboy,
For
Hendo."
sure. Yeah, for sure. He's done an incredible job. Like that first home game, that's like nothing I've ever experienced before.
It's
That was
sold
a
out.
wild
What a
experience.
great idea to give away free tickets and just pack the
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, like because there's a lot of people that have never seen hockey before that are coming along and they're like, I like this,
Yeah,
but they wouldn't necessarily have bought a ticket to go watch a game.
right.
You
But
know,
if it's free, you may as well walk in and check it out.
yeah, yeah, so special. Like when we had our intro video go up and seeing the journey of the team so far, and yeah, loads of special memories. And the intro
Probably
song
just
came
bring a
on.
little tear to Hendo's eye seeing that stuff, eh?
Yeah, yeah. No, it was phenomenal. Well, the Devils practice straight after us, and we have to walk across the corridor in order to get to the shower. So I'm walking in my towel, go out into the hallway, and I look up at the screen. The Devils are on the ice, and there's a freeze frame of my face on the screen. I'm like, what's going on? I didn't even know there was an intro video being made, and so I was so confused.
Oh man, I find it so neat that Hendo's doing this in that barn where, like I saw the pictures of them giving out the player of the game or the shirt off the
Mm,
back, and then it's got my
yeah.
logo on the shoulder, and then they have the red carpet coming out, and I'm like, that's the same spot, the same red carpet I got to go out on for Wally night, and now Hendo
Um,
has started his own team and is doing all this stuff, and then puts my logo on the shoulder of the jersey. It's
uh,
just like, wow, what a world.
full circle, man. Full
Full
circle. It's so
circle.
cool. I love that.
For a couple guys that started out in the coast our rookie years together in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Bet the
Um,
nostalgia is real.
it is. Oh, jeepers. You playing with your tallywhacker again? Okay.
Drop the microphone.
You wear number 20. Why?
That was my dad's number. So
Hmm.
my dad started the Bracknell Bees, so now the Berkshire Bees, which is the team we've got our player development program with.
He
And
started the Bracknell Bees,
yeah,
and
so
that is where Todd Kelman played when he went to the UK, who is also the guy that brought me to Cardiff, but then also brought me back for a Wally night that also inspired the podcast. How
oh
about
no way.
that?
Wow.
Yeah. Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
and
special.
Andy's the guy that wrote the recommendation letter for when I needed to find a job in the real world. That was a very kind letter, and is why the company hired me
Holy
that did. And now I can do this on lunch because all is good in the world.
dude. That's so cool. I love that.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a
It's
cool
nice when
story.
things are going good with things,
And good people.
right?
Good people doing good things. So yeah,
People helping
dad
people. It's a
was
powerful thing.
Yeah, no doubt. That's kind of been my entire life is helping people to do stuff, and then ice hockey's kind of been like doing something for me. So,
Right. Sometimes you have to do things for yourself, you know? I'm not
hmm
usually that good at that.
well,
Um,
my best quote for that is when you're on the airplane and they say, "Please put your own mask on before helping others."
yeah, that's yeah. You don't think to do that very often sometimes
No,
people out there.
no,
Some people do.
yeah,
So where's your
yeah.
old man from?
So Dad grew up in Windsor, Ontario, in a
Really?
little place
Windsor,
called
Ontario.
LaSalle.
That's a real
Yeah.
shithole now.
So, little town called LaSalle, and yeah, he grew up there. Hockey was his entire life. Then he went to Ohio State, which is actually top I'm wearing now. This is from
Mm,
1979, I think it is.
Ohio State,
And
I played against them.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
Western Michigan. Hmm.
Oh cool.
Hmm.
So yeah, Dad played Ohio State, and then came over to the UK, played for the Durham Wasps, then Nottingham Panthers, Solihull Barons, and then got asked by the owner of the rink, John Nike, who also owned the Bristol rink, if you go along and start the um, Bracknell Bees off with him. So he was player coach for them. He's ridiculous. He got like 223 points in 28 games.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
That
So
must have been some high level hockey.
yeah, so he took them from the league we're in now up to the elite league, but was Heineken League back then, I think. And then yeah, got his jersey retired by them, so it's up on the wall in the arena, which is pretty sweet.
That is really sweet. Yeah.
And that's the number 20. So
Hmm.
full
So you
circle.
can wear that, just not there.
Well, I asked because I said if I were to go and play with them, because we've got our player development program, I'm like, if I could even go and do a training session with them, that would be so sweet, right? But if I got to play a game with them, if I wanted to use the number 20, I'd just have to have his permission.
Right, you'd have to ask Dad.
Yeah. Which
That,
I'm sure for old time's sake, right?
I'd probably be cool for him to see you out there with 20 on
Yeah.
after you haven't played hockey your whole life.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because it sounds like it was his life. So for him to just give it up,
hmm
must have been hard because that was when I
Yeah.
had my tough time was when hockey was over.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think giving up hockey for him was a really big step. I don't think he necessarily wanted to, but he had a kid and had to, you know,
Do
make
that.
sure that he was making the right decisions and
Uh-huh. I know what you
stayed
mean.
in it reffing for a few years, but it's not quite the same.
Hmm. No, having a team
Um,
is and being on a hockey team is what I need in life. And like having this under
mm,
13 team, it's all I need. And then I get to help the senior team at practices and go on the bench when I
nice.
can make the games. And then I also get to help practices with my under 11 girls, my daughter's team. So I got a
Oh,
lot of hockey
sweet.
going on.
Amazing. Oh,
Yeah,
that's so cool.
gotta stay
Yeah, I
busy,
think
right?
yeah, absolutely. I think the social side of hockey is something I never anticipated. Like I was signed with three teams in beer league to be able to get onto the Canucks. I was taking ringer spots on every other team in Bristol that I could. I was coming over to Cardiff and playing with them sometimes, and then I was coaching as well. I was on the ice like 10 to 12 hours a week. Just I,
Trying to get better.
nothing would stop me. I always want to be the hardest worker in the room and just do everything I could and work my way up from the bottom team all the way up to the top team in Bristol and then I was like, right, now I want to be able to hit guys.
Sounds like you have the right attitude to get into this sport at a late age.
Yeah, I think I've needed this in my life. I played football growing up, but that's not a contact sport, not
Mm,
American football, soccer. So
mhm.
that was the skill and the teamwork and the social side of things, but having the, be able to let out the warrior inside and take out
Muck
some
it up.
frustration doing
Yeah.
something you love. Exactly, go to war with the boys. I think is huge. And
It's
yeah.
part of the game I missed playing it.
Mm,
I'm getting the juices flowing again now as a coach. You just don't get to let it out or like go hit anybody or
yeah.
do anything. You just watch your team do it. But standing on the blue line and like having the anthem play and both teams are just standing there staring at each other and you're like, wow,
Mm,
it's about go time here.
Yeah, yeah. And I can't help myself but just stare down the other team. I'm just like
There's a lot
I'm
of
like
mean mugging going on out there.
yeah. I'm like I know I should be appreciating the anthem right now, but I'm looking at these guys thinking there's not a single one of you I'm scared of right now, and I fucking love it.
And I'd be thinking, there's not one of you taking my puck tonight.
It's like they were saying on a video with Gretzky when he was younger, and they're saying like, hockey's a challenge. He goes, no, it's not a challenge. He was like, I don't think it's a challenge. It's fun. He's like, that's my puck. You get your own. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I love
Yeah.
that.
Well, and it does need to be fun. I tell my team, I'm like, when you go out there
Yeah.
and have fun playing hockey, you play better. If you're all
Yes.
uptight and wound up, it's like
Hmm.
you got to feel the rhythm out there. But
Yeah.
enjoy battling.
You have the most fun when you're playing your best hockey, and you play your best hockey when you're having fun.
And when
So
it's your puck, not theirs.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. But you got to want it bad, right?
Yeah.
Whoever wants it more gets it.
Next poster pick, you're hugging a gal in a wheelchair.
Yeah, it's my gran. She's super special. Super special. That's my mum's mum. She's got muscular dystrophy, which means she pretty much hasn't been able to walk for like 15 years now.
Mm,
But she's never complained. She's just the
right.
happiest, kindest person. Very inspiring that you can be able to do so little and yet still have such an
A good
amazing
attitude.
outlook. And yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, exactly.
that's
Gives
great.
you great perspective, right?
It does. Yeah, it's like the fellow that came on that well, he had jumped onto the motorway and paralyzed himself and had major issues, and now he's found sledge hockey, and well, he asked on here to help out with getting a wheelchair that could stand him up so he could do things around his house, and he needed to raise eight
Oh wow.
thousand pounds. And we talked about it. I shared the link and whatnot. I gave him like a few bucks that I could afford. But
Hmm.
then somehow it got out there, and well, he just got to 8,000 pounds exactly, so he can now order the chair. And the last person to
That's so
donate,
cool.
he's never met, doesn't know who he is, and the person gave over 3,000 pounds and got him to 8,000 right on the dot.
Oh my God.
Isn't that
That's
hockey?
incredible. That's incredible. Yeah, that's hockey.
Yeah, that's
That's
hockey.
so cool.
That is so cool.
I love
And
that.
man, when it's a life changer for him. And now that he'll
Mm.
be able to be upright and like cook and do things around the kitchen, it's like,
Yeah,
wow.
wow.
Yeah. People helping
That's
people. It's
completely
a
life
powerful
changing.
thing.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I was teaching one of those PSHE classes to teenagers, and it's all about life skills, and it was talking about like giving to others, and we're talking about like charitable donations and stuff. And I'm like, if you give a pound to a charity, it's one person giving 1 pound. If you get 10 people to give a pound, then
It's
you as a one person has created 10 pounds, and
yes.
then those people share it to other people, and it's like a collective effort's always going to have a bigger impact than
Mm,
one person doing it and taking the credit. So.
I
Um,
totally agree. Yeah.
mm,
Takes everybody to win.
yeah, 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 no doubt.
Hmm.
And no, that's really special. I mean, see some amazing things in physio with people being able to get back to independence and doing what they love. And like you've got the sled skiing, which is so cool, so
I
cool.
have seen this. Yeah, they're on like it's like almost like one ski, right?
Yeah, yeah, and then they've a bit like with the sled hockey players, they've got it like a
Yeah,
paddle in either side.
yeah, to help
Um,
steer them, right?
yeah,
And then they use their body weight.
Unbelievable. Yeah, saw a guy, it was a Red Bull video, and he did a backflip and landed on a rail, and he pulled it off. I'm like, dude, you can't even bail if you want to. Like,
That's wild. Yeah, the things some people can do out there, eh?
that's so cool, so cool. So,
The
yeah.
one picture I really liked for your poster pick though was it looked like your crew that had bought the merchandise after a Canucks game up in the lobby, and you're giving someone a hug, but then
Yeah.
behind you is the mural of all the Devils legends who are all my guys that have been on the pod, and
Oh,
then I'm
no
seeing
way.
you with the Canucks making memories, and it's all happening where I used to be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so special. So that's my girlfriend, her 2 kids, and they're complete super fans. Like, absolutely love it. Got the merch. They're loud in the crowd. They're yeah, fully committed to it. And they've never watched hockey before. It's only since the Canucks they've got into it. So
That's awesome.
very special.
Another poster pick is you're on the big ski mountain. Is that Morzine?
Mm. No, that's Japan. So
Ah,
I did 6 months in Japan with my little brother and one of our best friends. Three of us moved out there, became ski and snowboard instructors, and we're teaching on the mountain for 6 months. And that was a volcano that was right next to our resort. And me and my brother actually hiked up that. Took us 7 hours to the top. Got to snowboard into the crater of an active volcano. And yeah.
sorry, what was that? You skied into what?
Snowboarded into the crater of an active volcano. Fortunately, no lava in there at the time. It hasn't erupted in 4,000 years. So
Okay.
it's just full of snow at the top, but all of the actual hot springs rather than the regular springs we were talking about before.
Were there other people doing this or
Not many at the time. I mean, it's relatively popular among people that do that kind of thing, but
okay.
we saw two other guys in the kind of 10-hour experience, 7 hour hike to the top, and then into the crater, an hour back out, and then a 40-minute ride back down to the car.
Right, because there's no gondola to get you up there. You're walking up the
Ooh,
hill.
yeah. Have you seen
You have a
how
lot
you
of energy,
walk up a
huh?
hill with skis on?
You have a lot of
Yeah,
energy.
love it. Love doing
Mm.
stuff.
Doing
Love
stuff
seeing
is
stuff,
fun.
doing
Yeah.
stuff.
I
Yeah.
like doing this where I just sit here and talk to people.
Hey, life's about balance, right?
I don't think I'm hiking up a mountain for or a volcano for 7 hours. I just don't see that in me. I don't think I'll
We
make
started
it.
at 2 a.m. as well.
Well, to get things done, you got to really want it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how many people can say they've snowboarded into the crater of an active volcano?
I
It's
know I
it's
can't.
pretty up there. Pretty up there.
Right.
It was epic.
How many people could say they rode a red saucer down Morzine? Not many.
Exactly
But
right.
I took a gondola to the top.
But you didn't die, so that's the main thing. There are a lot of
That's
trees
true.
in Morzine. You didn't hit any of them, so this is great.
And there was cliffs. Like if you went off the cliff, you're going down the mountain, right?
Or you land on the red saucer and you got a cool story to tell.
Yeah. Well, cool stories are fun to tell.
Yeah, no doubt. That's why we do it, right? Have the
That
story
is.
for later days.
Well, I what does the Cardiff Canucks have a win song in the room after you win?
Not a win song in the room, no, but we've got Victor well, I don't know if he's created it. I'm not sure if it's a tradition, but it's now a Canucks tradition where he will do like a chant and we will
I've
chant back at him.
Yep,
And there's one of the videos on the social media of it, and
I saw it and it looked passionate and it looked like
it's
hockey.
very passionate. Yeah. I mean, I think we're still trying to figure it out. It's great. And the energy is fantastic.
So my team coaching under 13, well, last season they had a win song that they really wanted, and I guess it had been the U13 team's win song the year before, and some of the boys that were returning really enjoyed it. I thought it was a bit inappropriate, quite a bit inappropriate for under 13, but seemed that it wasn't a problem the year before and that everybody wanted it. So I was just like, well, if it stays in the room, then that's fine, but keep the door shut so people don't listen to what you're listening to here. But then the boys decided to try and fire it up again this season. And uh, I don't know if the moms heard it or if the kids just explained to them what the win song was on the way home or something. But then it got some moms chitter chatting about what their kids were listening to in the room,
Oh
and they asked
man.
me about it, and I said, "Well, you know what? Like, if you guys have any problem with it, I want everybody to be happy." And I'm like, "I thought it's inappropriate too." I'm like, "I was just going with it because they did it last year, but like, we can shut her down right away," and we did.
Oh, at least they got to enjoy it. The memories will last though, right?
It's a catchy tune.
They're singing it at home. Where did you get that from?
What did you just sing?
Oh man,
Uh,
it's like I've been saying some like making like funny but inappropriate jokes in front of my girlfriend's kids, and like they'll come up with words they've heard at school, and I'll make a joke about it, and they'll be like, they repeat it immediately, and I'm like, no, no, we're
no,
not doing it.
that was a mistake I made the one day. Yeah. I had out for lunch with my kids having fun, just chit-chatting, and then they thought it was interesting I could speak German. So, well, then I taught them a couple words that they find funny now, and well, they shouldn't be making those jokes even in German. Because what if somebody understands German? You can't say
Oh
that.
yeah, right.
Hmm.
Well, at least the majority don't, so they're less likely to get caught.
Right, right. It'd be like when I was in Germany and people could say things about you thinking you didn't know what they were saying, and then you're like, I understand what you're saying.
The panic sets in and they realize.
Um, do you have any questions for me today before I have to go back to the real world and work?
What do you do in the real world working?
Hmm. I work for a heat treatment company, heat treating pipes and vessels around the world. It's a global company that guy from this small little town has built an empire, and I run the engineering department for him.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so I got a team of the guys the people that do the drawings of how to set it up and all that stuff to meet code and requirements. And now they even call me a subject matter expert.
Wow.
You'd never would have guessed that I know so much about pipes, eh? But apparently I've been doing it for 8 years now, so I do know a lot
Damn.
about pipes.
I mean, that sounds like a really technical job that even I wouldn't be able to wing my way through a day, so
Mm.
good on you.
No, it's worked out though. As I learned from scratch because I didn't know anything about nothing when I started with them, and then I went out and wrapped the pipes and saw that side of it, and then I learned. Well, a drawer quit or an engineering technician quit or had to leave. So then they needed a guy. So they put me in that role with no background in engineering at all. And then I just learned how to do it. So then when they made me the
Sweet.
supervisor, well, I made a website of everything I learned, basically everything you need to do the job.
Oh, great idea.
So yeah, now like my team has what they need, and you know,
Nice.
they've been with me for like 10 years. They all know what they're doing, and
Oh, that's
it's
awesome.
great. I have a great team in the real world.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, I guess it's a big thing, not knowing what to move on to after hockey.
It's
You're a
brutal,
hockey
man.
player through and through, and not many people have the skills and experience. And I think my dad especially lost a lot of his mojo when he left hockey, not knowing where to get fired up. And
Yep.
if you're a hockey player, you're alive when you're playing hockey, and it's about finding something that can make you feel alive after that's gone. And I guess staying involved with coaching is helping you keep the fire alight, right?
That definitely the coaching brings me a team, and then also getting to do this and be myself for an hour and a bit during a
Sweet.
day means a lot. That they let me do this, they trust me to get my job done. Like they know what I'm doing, and they know that I got their back, and
Nice.
I'll work at any time to get the job done if I can log off, or I don't even log off. I'm ready to play at any time, and I'll pause this, and they come first.
Yeah,
But coaching and doing the podcast has really brought me back to trying to figure, being happy because
that's unreal.
yeah, tough go when you get out of the game and you don't know what to do or what, and then when you do start doing it, you're like, there's no passion here at all, right?
Yeah,
But
not the
then
same.
once I became a supervisor, it kind of like became my team, and then I could like
Yeah,
tinker with my team like it's a hockey team, and then
they are the boys. Yeah.
well, and then you know who your great players are, and then you know what, there were
Yeah.
some roster shakeups.
Amazing.
But then you
Well,
end
I'm
up with
glad
the team
to,
you want.
yeah, I'm glad to hear the podcast's playing a big role and so special to be a part of it. I really appreciate you bringing me on.
Oh,
Um, I
it's
guess
great, and thanks for making the time. And Hendo wasn't wrong when I asked the guys I trust who I should have on. None of them are ever
very
wrong,
cool.
you know.
I appreciate it. I guess another question I've got, what's your most special memory from playing hockey?
From playing, or hockey in general.
Whatever springs to mind, I guess.
Well, I mean, I love hockey, and I wanted to coach kids, and I wanted to help them. And then, I moved to a small town where nobody knows me. They just see the short, fat guy, whatever. Well, I applied for minor hockey coaching positions, and I I didn't get jobs that I wanted to start with. The first
Mm,
three I applied for, I did not get. I was 0 for 3. And then last season, they gave it to my buddy that came on, Jared Adams, and he asked me to co-coach with him, and that they would announce it
Nice.
that we're coaching together, and that right
Oh,
from the
well,
start we are co-coaches and we're doing this together. And he was the best guy to coach with. It was the best year ever. And then the kids went out there and earned it. And they worked harder than any team I've seen. They came together like a team
oh,
I've never
nice.
seen. And then we won all Ontario and went 16-0 in the playoffs. And to have that with Jared, when he had my back and wanted my help. And now this season they gave me the head coaching job. And
No
it's
way.
like, it's nice when things turn around, and then
Dude,
um,
that's so special.
because I really
That's
do
so
love the
special.
coaching and I want to help the kids.
Yeah.
And I do have a lot of contacts in hockey if they can play, you
Mm.
know?
Yeah. Well, hey, the longest standing research study in history is done by Harvard University, and they were looking at what makes people live longest. And they're like, it's not your nutrition, it's not your activity, it's, nothing to do with any of these day-to-day things. It's about the quality of your relationships. And
Mm,
so, the
is that
fact that
right?
you've given your most special thing is the opportunity you've been given work with a guy that you trust and work well with, and that's opened up a whole load of passion and
Mm,
ignited the fire for you. That's so cool. And I think
yeah.
coaching is a huge thing, especially when you got a lot to give to everybody else.
Well, and I feel like everybody loves hockey a different amount. And when I'm doing the
Mm,
podcast and I'm doing coaching and I'm coaching my kids' friends and I get to know them and they become my friends,
yeah.
I don't think you're going to find anybody around more passionate about coaching minor hockey.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's so special. Oh, hey, it's like teaching at high school sounds like it's a horrendous job for a supply teacher. Like when I was at school, they'd say, If we don't make the teacher cry, then we haven't done a good job." Like it was all about bullying the guy that turned up for the day. And I turn up to a class and they'll be like, "Brad, have we got you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'll get a round of applause and a cheer from this group of teenagers that are just like stoked to see me. And I'm like, "This is wild. I didn't have this at school." Like so. It's the difference that you can make is very special. And being able to do that in hockey as well, combining the two passions
I had a
is
neat
something.
one the other day. Was one of the gals I had coached in under nine. Well, this was 2 years later. Ran into her at the arena, and well, she was excited to see me, and I was excited to see her. But like, she came up and whatever, and then her mom just looked at me and said, "Could you imagine being that excited to see somebody?" And I was like, "Wow, that just meant the world."
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, no, I'm
very
having fun
special.
around here coaching the kids and getting to know everybody, and then you get to know the parents, and then you become like, well, with any hockey team, if you can become family by the end of the year, you know?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Hmm.
That's yeah,
So
one of
I
the best
think
parts about it.
my team's got another shot. I think we got a shot at going back to back with a whole new team. We got three returning
Yeah,
players, but I got a squad, and I can't wait for the opportunity to try and beat everybody because I
so
love
cool.
competing, and I think I have everything I need. It's up to us how
Perfect.
well we play and how much they
Yeah,
practice.
yeah, no doubt. And if you can, keep people enjoying themselves and keep them committed, I think one of the biggest things, especially within teaching and coaching, is like if you respect the person that's teaching you, you're like, I want to do well as for me. And
Mm.
I guess we've got that with Hendo. He's an amazing coach, amazing guy, and you want to do well for him, not just for yourself. So
Well, that's good. You
um,
think of him that way.
really cool. Yeah,
Yeah, I like Hendo. He's about as hockey as a hockey guy can get.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Well,
He's
I better get
yeah,
back
great
to
guy to
that
have
real
around.
world and go do my job now, eh? But it's been a fun lunch hour and great getting to know you. And I can't wait to see you back from your injury and out there mucking it up again, eh?
Sweet man, been an absolute pleasure. Honored to come on and have a chat with you. It's been great fun. And
Yeah, that's it. It sure has
yeah,
been. And thanks for making my
thank you,
day
brother.
better. And this has been another episode of Zero Ales and Hockey Tales with Crapesy and Wally.